Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great day. It's Esther here from the Gold Coast, Australia, here to do my black and white ink projects that I'm a bit obsessed with at the moment. I normally paint large oil paintings, but in the last year, to calm my mind and slow my brain down, I've been doing patterning. That was the last one, and it turned out beautiful. No matter what way you put it, it was meant to be that way. That was the original. It actually looks quite nice like that. But you can hang it any which way that makes it pleasing to your own eye. Now, my new project is I'm going to do a shell. So I've decided on this. There's many different shells that you can do. I've decided on this one. What's that one called? Anyway. But I'm going to show you how to do this pattern. I've just done it in pencil now. Piece of paper, I've just done a border 1 centimeter from the edge. Just a piece of paper. And I've drawn a shell. And it's not just the outside, it's the inside of the shell, which is nicely divided. But I'm going to show you how to do this. It's not as simple as that to get the correct. So I'm going to show you how. And it's not easy, but I think that if you just take a piece of paper and a pencil and try it first before you do this, because even I had trouble. You can see the rubbing marks. I needed to have it in a certain place in the paper, and it goes from small, and this goes larger and larger and larger. So the easiest way to do it is if this is your piece of paper like that, and you're going to do it in that corner there. You're going to start in that corner there, and it's basically count to 3 on the downstroke. So 1, 2, 3. So there's 1, count to 1, there's 2, and there's 3. So 1, circle, 2, circle, 3, and then the shell goes like that. So I'll do that slower. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's what the shell looks like. Now if you cut the shell, slit it in half, you'll get divisions in. It's just nature is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And the lines will go like that inside the shell. All the way around. And as this gets more narrow, they get a little bit closer together. So that's the inside of the shell if you've slit it in half. So 1, 2, 3, and then you'll have those divisions there. So even if you do it in pencil first, I've done mine in pencil first so I can show you. And so this area is, the most narrow point is here, and then it just gets wider and wider until it's like that. And inside here is where the little animals live, the sea animals. And what we're going to do is we're going to pattern this and do a background, and it's going to look brilliant. So if you'd want to stop this now and do a little practice until you have this, before we continue. So I'll get my pens out. I will go from here and take a 4. Now normally I just scribble, but I'm not going to scribble this time. I'm going to go slowly until this is filled in. I mean, until the line is done. Sometimes it's better to go faster, but I don't want to ruin this because it's going to be absolutely beautiful when it's finished. And all these pencil lines are going to be gone. You don't have to worry about that. Let's see if my camera's working. Yes, it is. If this line is not quite as neat as you'd like it, remember it's all going to be patterned. So at that stage, when you get to the patterning of this, you can straighten those lines or go over them until they suit you. That's the inside of your shell. We haven't done the others yet, but I'm going to rub out all these pencil lines so it makes it a little bit clearer what it looks like. Careful when you rub it out, make sure your ink is dry, otherwise you might smudge. I'll just go and shake this off. Excuse me for a minute. There we are. And then you have your shell. Now the inside of the shell, where's my pencil? As I said before, it goes like that. There are divisions there, and they get smaller and closer together as you go around there. So if you're not sure, rather do it in pencil first. It isn't easy. It isn't easy, I must say. But it's very rewarding when it's done, you'll see. So until you're satisfied with your pencil, look at that. Isn't nature a wonderful thing? You do a shells in a search in Google, you'll find this shell. Let's slit in half. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? And then when you're satisfied, not quite satisfied, and think this is right, this particular one isn't right. So at least if you've done pencil, you can rub it out. That also can come at a bigger angle. There. Now I'm happy. Almost happy. When you're happy with that, you take your pen, do those in black, and then we can start patterning. Try not to rush this part because it's the backbone of the entire work. Whoop. And you don't want to ruin it by being in a hurry. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look beautiful? And then you rub out your pencil, make sure your ink is dry. Just rub out those pencil marks. You see how great they look. Be careful you don't, you hold your paper down quite firmly. If it crumples up, you'll think you've done all that and you've got a crumpled corner, which is not a nice feeling when you do that. It's irritating. And this is supposed to be relaxing, so try and relax yourself by doing it slower than how you'd normally. And it's a nice way of slowing your mind down and knowing that whatever you do, however you do it, it's going to turn out beautiful. I might wipe that into there. Don't want it on your surface because then your pen is going to have little lumps on it. Look at that. It's beautiful already. And when we do my favorite thing, like take all these hard lines and soften them, well, you'll see. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Is any corner, you're going to round the corner and fill it in. Just round it like that. It can be rounded like that. can fix your line up at the same time. A bit shaky sometimes. Just round it there, round that there, and then fill it in. Try to go slowly. I know it's difficult sometimes. Life just has a way of doing that to you. Just rush, rush, rush to do this, rush to do that. But try and slow down when you're doing this, because it's going to take a long time. So rushing now is pointless. You're not going to be able to finish it. Look at that. And then you continue all the way along, the whole way through, till you've done all the corners, all the sharp edges. Beautiful day today. What date is it today? It's the 3rd of January 2024. It's 2:17 in the afternoon. I went to a shopping centre with my daughter and the 3-year-old, and we had a lovely time just walking around. Had a coffee, had a bit of scrambled eggs, and it was lovely. The shopping centre we went to is called Pacific Fair, which is very popular with the tourists. And you've got all the very, very expensive boutiques there, you know, Louis Vuitton and Hermes and all that kind. I probably said that wrong, but it doesn't really matter. And Louis Vuitton, and those shops, a lot of those there. So, plus the ordinary shops. It used to be just an ordinary little shopping centre, which was also still very popular because it's right near the boardwalk where a lot of tourists stay. But they did it up and got all these very expensive shops to go in there as well. So you see very, very Lani people walking around there, which is always lovely to see. Love to see how they're dressed. Oops. And don't rush like I just rushed then. No good rushing. Oops. Try not to do your lines too quick because that's when you make a mistake. Well, that's when I make a mistake, when I rush. There's no point in rushing because this is going to take a very long time. There'll be many parts of this to go before it's finished. Just for those of you who watched this one and noticed that I hadn't done a corner, I've done that corner now, and I only noticed when I was checking it to see how the video went. So that corner's been done, guys, if it was bothering anybody. Now notice in the pictures that I looked up, there is a little ridge on all these lines that go all the way around. But I'm undecided whether to put them in or not at this stage. So I'll make up my mind at a later stage whether I want to put those in. I'm going to lean on a piece of paper because my hand is a bit sticky from the heat. A few little cuts on my hand because I was taking down Mum's Christmas tree yesterday. And I don't know what she had hanging there, but it's very spiky. So it cut me a couple of times. And don't rush. No point in rushing because it's going to take a long time to complete this one. I can tell you that now. Gee, doesn't that look fantastic? I'm always surprised at how beautiful it looks when you do those corners. I normally do the other corners as well. And I'm not quite sure whether to do it this time. Always looks beautiful, both corners. That looked fabulous. So that's the shell there. Isn't nature a beautiful thing? I think I'm going to do the other corners. I'll just come to a decision. Looks good. Often when you do something and you're not quite sure how it's going to turn out, it doesn't really matter. Because with these or without these, the look was beautiful. Wow. My God. Doesn't that look beautiful, guys? I reckon we made the right decision then to do both of them. And then it's a matter of deciding, now you're going to do the patterning. So already it looks amazing. Look beautiful. There's a gorgeous shell. 37 minutes, that's perfect. So this area, so we won't worry about that. But we will start patterning here. Whether we go like that or haphazardly, I don't know yet. So I'll just do little things and see how they turn out. I'm going to do little black circles now, just because that's what I feel like doing. And when you're doing this, you must do exactly what you feel like doing, because it's spontaneous and it always looks better if you just make up your mind at that moment. Isn't that beautiful? And every pattern I do, I think, oh, that looks beautiful. Oh, that looks beautiful. Oh, that looks even more beautiful. And they do. They just look awesome. So what I think I'm going to do is you see, I can't make up my mind. I'll just do this. So I won't do each one, 2 like that. I'll just go with whichever one I feel like doing. And that's what you should do. Just do where the pen takes you. Or the wave. Just assume you're riding on a wave. You don't know what you're going to do at the end of the wave. You think you know what you're going to do, but it all depends where the wave takes you. And for these ones, we're doing opposite there, where these are black circles, then these are going to be white ones. One of my favorite things to do, except I don't really get the circles very nice. And I usually have to go in afterwards and fix the circles up. If you go slowly, and the more you do, the easier it gets. So you can go in afterwards with a very thin pen and then fix all these circles up so that they look the way you want them to look. I hope I'm not blocking what I'm doing here. I'm going to go in with a very, very fine pen, 005 of this pen. I'm going to go in, see if I can fix up the circles that are not quite to my liking. I don't know why this happens to me every time. Doesn't really matter, but I wondered why, because I really try really hard to do really perfect circles. They don't always turn out so perfect for me. I think because I draw them too quickly. So if you do it slower, you may not have to go through this process that I go through every single time. Like that. It's taking shape. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't it absolutely beautiful? And then it's just patterning whichever pattern that you want is going to look insanely beautiful, because that's what patterning does. It's just a beautiful feel, a relax. And let's do one of these smaller ones here. These are very small, so you need quite a tiny pen to soften the sharp edges and colour them in with your pen. This kind of thing is easier when it gets bigger, obviously, but the effect is just as beautiful. So take your time. And try not to rush, like I've just rushed. I don't want to rush, so I'm going to fill in all these. That was really tiny, but you see what a beautiful effect it is. So we're going to have to do that. And if you do one pattern, you must do more than one of the same pattern. Not must, that's the wrong words. But what I like to do is if you're going to do a pattern once, you do it more than once, because it gives a continuity. It leads the eye around the work that you're doing. Doesn't that look beautiful? So I'm going to do another one of those here. You can use a ruler if you want to. Doesn't really matter. And fill in the corners. Oops. And don't rush, Esther. Try not to rush. It's very tempting to whip ahead and do it, but honestly, the slower you go, the better it is. Because that's the idea, to slow your mind. And I thank the new subscribers that I've had in the last 24 hours. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and it encourages me to continue doing this kind of thing. I mean, I'll continue doing it myself, but it gives me encouragement to record and share it. It was my daughter's idea in the first place. She came and watched me doing it for a little bit, and she said, "Why don't you record it?" Oh, I don't know. I suppose I could. And that's how it took off. And it's become quite popular, which I'm overjoyed about. I'm glad I can share it with anybody out there who's battling a little bit in their life with anxiety, because this will help with your anxiousness. Try and think of, just try and think of what, this is what you're doing now, and think of that. And try and leave the rest behind. You can think about it later. For now, let's think about this. I have so many dreams that I've lost my purse, lost my handbag. When I do find my phone, which I had lost, it's not the right phone, and I've forgotten how to use it. So that's pretty annoying, because imagine, because I pick up the phone and I think, how on earth do I use this? I'm trying to talk to my suggestive unconscious brain. Say, look, you're not going to lose your purse or your handbag, and you're not going to forget how to use your phone. We'll see how that works. It's bloody annoying picking up the phone. And at first you think, gee, this is hard, I don't know how to use it. Then you realize, well, it's not your phone, it's somebody else's phone. And it's no wonder you don't know how to use it. Oh, my dream last night. So I had the new mobile phones were enormous. Enormous. About half the size of this page. Thinking, what the hell? Such a funny dream. I mean, they work brilliantly. They could do just almost make you a cup of coffee. But gee, they were huge. Almost like the beginning. The first mobile phone, they used to call it the brick because it was like the size of a brick. It's huge. You couldn't just carry it in your pocket. Look at that. See how beautiful that looks? Just gives such a beautiful effect. I don't know what it is about that. It really looks good. So we've done the white circles and we've done the black circles. So how about we do some more black circles? I'll just get a pen that's a little bit thicker. Let me see what the time is first. Oh, it's 54. 54. I'm trying to keep it under an hour because otherwise it takes so long to download. So I might just do some black circles here quickly. Oh, I didn't want that one. That's 5. There we are. And don't rush. When I rush, my circle's terrible. So I'll probably try and do another one today. See, if you do more than one pattern, it leads the eye from one to the other, creating movement. Not actual movement, but the feeling of movement. Don't rush. Don't rush. That looked great. See, it leads the eye from there to there. This leads the eye from there to there, so that your eyes are constantly moving around. But guys, I'm going to stop this video now. Otherwise it takes too long to upload. And I want to do another one today, for sure, because I'm not finished doing this today. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thank you for joining me today. If you don't come back today, well, have a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.